Howdy folks, thanks for coming here and checking out this Fallout 76 video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the new Milepost Zero update, which is set to be released on September 3rd. As this update is available to playtest over on the PTS, we're going to be taking a look at how the new questline will work, some of the new rewards available, and also giving you an overview on the brand new currency that is being added with this update. As with any of my PTS videos, everything seen here today is always subject to change before it's released into the live servers. But considering that we're only 2 weeks out before it does get released, I don't really see a whole lot changing, but who knows. But anyway, let's firstly give you an overview of the new questline. Essentially, the Milepost Zero update will introduce a brand new repeatable questline called Caravan Skyline Drive, which will involve you escorting a pack Brahmin leased to you by the Blue Ridge Caravan Company to a specific location located in the Skyline Valley region, where you'll then need to deposit trading supplies for the company. Each time you complete an escort, you'll be rewarded with a brand new currency called supplies, which you can then use back at the Milepost Zero location located at the very bottom of Skyline Valley. Don't worry, we'll be getting into this currency and what it does in just a few moments, but in order to begin the new questline, you will need to start the quest A Bump in the Road, which will instruct you to head to the location marked on your map located at Stony Man Lookout. When you arrive, you'll need to investigate the emergency flare. However, you'll quickly discover that the location has been taken over by super mutants. Once you've cleared the area, you'll need to collect the holotape left behind by a captured Blue Ridge Caravan merchant, where you'll discover that said merchant was actually heading to Milepost Zero to deliver cargo. You'll then be instructed to collect the cargo, and lo and behold, you'll be tasked with bringing that cargo down to Milepost Zero. Once you arrive at the newly renovated Milepost Zero location, you'll be greeted by two Blue Ridge Caravan employees, Marley and Joanna. During your first encounter, you'll find that Marley and Joanna are squabbling over the longevity of the Milepost Zero operation, where Marley will be trying to convince Joanna to give her one last chance to keep the operation running. Once you've introduced yourself and delivered the cargo supplies, Marley will give you an offer to support the Blue Ridge Caravan in its supply runs, by asking if you'd like to provide her with enough caps to cover the operation, while you conduct the escort runs and she covers the business side of things back here. Once you agree to work with her, you'll be tasked to head out and complete your first Brahmin escort, which will trigger the public event Caravan Skyline Drive. The new quest can be found on the map with the new Brahmin event icon, where once you head out and meet up with the Brahmin, you'll need to defend the Brahmin from typical enemies that Appalachia has to offer. As this event is mainly situated in Skyline Valley, you will encounter some of the new enemy groups located in the region, such as Thrashers, the Lost, and some of the typical enemies found across the wasteland. To be honest, this event can definitely be completed solo. However, I would definitely recommend for some of the lower level players out there to definitely bring a friend or two with you, because some of these cargo runs can get a little tricky. The reason I say that is that these cargo runs can be triggered anywhere across Skyline Valley, and each run won't necessarily run the same way each time around. What I mean by that is that even though the quest remains the same, go find the Brahmin and escort it to its destination, on each run you'll be required to do a few optional different things, such as help other caravanners on your cargo route, clear blockades along the main route, and typically every few kilometers defend your Brahmin from waves of different enemies. To be honest, a lot of these enemy groups are fairly easy to take down, but in some instances, like most quests, you'll need to defeat an end of mission boss. I found on one encounter being swarmed by the Lost, and when I mean swarmed, I mean swarmed. So yeah, it's not just a simple stroll in the valley, you'll definitely need to pack some extra ammo. But inevitably, when you've completed your escort, you'll need to deposit the cargo supplies at the destination, and upon completion, you'll be rewarded with the new currency called supplies. Upon returning to Milepost Zero and informing Marley of a successful run, you'll initially be rewarded with 100 supplies. This new currency can only be used in the Milepost Zero location, which will be an instance location for you, but of course others can join in on your instance. This currency, and from what I can tell, can be used to set up trading merchants at the milepost, and upon closer inspection, it looks like the max amount of supplies that you can hold will be 1,000. Now there's a couple of different merchants that you can set up. There's the Ammo Merchant, which will cost 150 supplies, the Brahmin Tamer, which will cost 100 supplies, the Decorator, which will cost 125 supplies, and Imported Goods Merchant, which will cost 150 supplies. So overall, if you wanted to purchase each of these merchants, it will cost you 525 supplies, which seems simple enough. But there's a catch. The catch is that upon completing each Brahmin escort, you'll only be rewarded with roughly 10 supplies per run for smaller runs, roughly 25 supplies for medium escorts, and 50 supplies for large escorts. If you fail an escort, you'll still receive supplies, but only roughly 5 supplies. But upon completing your first Brahmin escort and completing the quest A Bump in the Road, you will receive 100 plus the reward from completing the run, which will come to 110 supplies. So a nice little start to unlocking your first merchant. Now, these aren't the only merchants available, as there are more that you can unlock over time, but don't worry, you can run as many Brahmin escorts as you like per day. However, after you've completed your first daily run, you'll then need to pay roughly 80 caps to run another, as Marley will inform you that due to Blue Ridge caravan policy, and to protect the Brahmin caravans from enemies knowing when they're about to head out, that they can't run any more than one per day, unless you're willing to cover the insurance costs for the Brahmin, which will cost you roughly 80 caps per additional run. So yeah, it might take you a bit of time before you save up enough to purchase each of the merchants available. Each of these merchants will have their own individual stash of goods to sell, such as ammo, weapons, decorative items, outfits, and so on. However, upon unlocking each merchant, you'll basically unlock a tier 1 version of that merchant. What I mean by that is that as time goes on and the more Brahmin runs that you do, you'll be able to go back to Marley and use the new supplies currency to unlock higher tiers of each merchant, which will then unlock more items for you to purchase from each of the merchants' inventories. So yeah, you can probably tell how this system will work. Do Brahmin runs, collect currency, use that to upgrade merchants and buy more stuff. Now, I will be making a separate video that covers all of the rewards available at a later date, but to give you an example of some of the items that you can get, I went ahead and as I had enough supplies to unlock the imported goods merchant, I found that this merchant sells an assortment of camp plans which you can purchase for caps. Each of these plans seem to be relatively affordable, as the most expensive plan was 760 caps, so yeah, not too bad. But remember, the higher the tier, the more expensive these plans will become. But from the imported goods merchant, we have the following. We have the makeshift wine rack, the Noreen curtains, the Park Ranger supply box, which is basically a stash box that you can place in your camp, the Persian wall rug, and the rolled Persian rugs. Don't worry, there's a lot of other rewards that you can unlock, and believe me, some of these rewards will be ones that I know a lot of players will be grinding for, as one of the rewards that you can unlock will be the new V63 laser carbine and all of its mods. And if you'd like to check out the new laser carbine and how it works, you can check out my review of the weapon by clicking on the link on the top right hand corner of the screen. Moving on from that, and after a fair bit of testing, I have to say I've really enjoyed this new update. I think it's definitely going to bring a good bit of variety to the selection of events that we currently have available, as it's pretty cool to think that we can finally work alongside the Blue Ridge Caravan Company. The only issues that I had from testing this, and more than likely this is because it's probably on the PTS, and this quest probably still needs a little bit of testing before it's released on September 3rd, but the only issue I ran into was a couple of pathing issues with the Brahmin. When I was on one particular run, I found that the Brahmin got stuck on the side of a mountain, and after trying to interact with it several times, it never moved and just became stuck, which inevitably led me to having to let it die, so pretty much that I could go back and start the entire run over again, but hopefully that doesn't carry over into the live servers. But other than that, I didn't experience much issues, and overall I really enjoyed the questline. And that about covers everything from the Milepost Zero update coming on September 3rd. Let me know your thoughts in the comments on what you've seen here today and what you're looking forward to most about the update. I previously covered all of the upcoming Season 18 Datamine rewards releasing alongside Milepost Zero, so if you'd like to check that out, make sure to click on the link on the top of the screen. But if you did enjoy today's video and found that it helped, definitely consider giving the video a like, and consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss out on future videos. To our channel members and subscribers, thank you for your continued support and helping the channel to grow. If you're picking up anything over on the Bethesda Gear store and you'd like to support the channel, you can use my creator code BTSugarBomb76 until August 24th to receive 20% off your entire purchase. Until next time, stay safe out there in the wasteland, welcome to Vault 93, and I'll catch you all in the next video.